And now we get to graph our linear equation. So it basically comes down to doing something we already did and then taking it to the graph and working the graph backwards. So first thing we're going to take from the equation is we're going to say what m is and what b is. And this is what I want, how I want you to show your work when graphing your equations. Is on your paper you should have what m equals and what b equals for your graph. Again, I'm going to repeat that. For your work on this assignment, when you are asked to graph something, I want you to tell me what the m and what the b was from your equation. So in this case, our m, the coefficient with x, is 2, which becomes 2 over 1. Why do I need to make it 2 over 1? Because we know that slope is rise over run. And so I need to make it into that ratio so that I know for however many I go up, how many I'm going to go over. Now my b, making sure I take the sign with it, is a -1. That means I'm going to go to the point 0, -1. So, or the other way I'm going to think about it is go to the y-axis and put a point at -1 and hopefully do it without pressing too hard to make that silly message come up, text box come up. All right, so there's my point at -1. Now from here, I'm going to use the slope, and I know that this is up 2 and right 1. So that's what I'm going to do. Up 2, 1, 2, right 1. Now, if you were doing this by hand, the more points that you have, the easier it is to draw a straight line. Since you're doing it on Math Excel, you just are going to graph your y-intercept, and then you're going to go up 2 and over 1, and you'll get your second point, and it will create the line for you. Now, if for some reason you were to run out of space and you couldn't get another point on there, or you couldn't go one direction, like for some reason we were at, say, 9 and needed to go up 2 and over 1, and we'd run out of space, then we can do the exact opposite and go down 2 and left 1. Because a down left is a negative, and negative divided by a negative is positive, and that's why this works. So I could go down 2 and left 1, and I would also be able to create points. Now, again, do you need to create this many points? No, you don't. I did. Not that it's going to make me draw a really straight line, although that was probably one of the best lines I've ever done live. But I know that when I have more points on my graph, when I hand draw and not having the computer draw for me, the better it is for me to draw a graph, or at least line up my straight edge to create said straight line. And that's how we graph a linear equation. Again, on your work, I'm wanting to see what your m is and what your b is. We want to create our slopes to where they are, fractions. And so if it's a whole number, we're going to put it over 1. If it's already a fraction, then that is our rise over our run. And that is what I have for you today. And I will see you next time.